it again and again. But Creo cares.
The Surge is an action RPG, we say a hardcore action RPG set in the near future, and it's really all about one-on-one combat and cutting off body parts, using them to craft something for yourself.
So you're playing in this game as Warren. He's a new employee at this company called Creo. It's like a big mega corporation. They're trying to solve a lot of the problems in the world.
Creo really has the task to repair environmental damage by shooting rockets with payloads in the atmosphere that are supposed to heal Earth's atmosphere.
And Warren has just gotten a job here. So he's showing up for work for his first day. Things are a little mysterious, a little strange, but it's okay. He really needs the work. He gets his industrial exoskeleton applied to him, but something goes really wrong.
Happens is that Warren, after a blackout, wakes up and is in some kind of junkyard, and everything wants him dead, basically.
And so what you're trying to do is help Warren to survive, to figure out what has happened in this place, and ultimately to escape.
To create a believable and credible world, we concentrated us on three major themes, and it was the industrial, the corporate, and the futuristic theme. We combined that together to create very exciting and interesting places, which are always credible and helps us to deliver our story with a lot of questions about tomorrow, and to have very interesting places for the player to explore.
What I personally like very much about the combat is the variety that you have. So there's a lot of choice in terms of how you want to play the game. If you really want to play bulky and slow, you can do that. If you want to be very, very fast, then there's also stuff for you in there. You can do it in a defensive way. You can block, you can dodge, you can duck, you can jump. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
So when it came to the technical implementation of the combat system, we rely on physics-based hitboxes that are positioned specifically according to the input that the player gives. So it's possible for us to really find out which limb actually gets hit by the strike by the player, and it's also the case that the same rules apply for the enemies. It's very, very detailed and also interesting to play with for the player, and it's also interesting for us that the enemies follow the same rules.
It's really, really reactive. It's really snappy. You really feel that you can impose your will on the game world. But that's only half of the equation. You know, the other half is that the game world has to push back. It has to give you a lot of challenges for you to overcome. The enemies have to be difficult. You have to learn what they do in order to overcome them. But then that makes the victory feel so much better in the end.
It's all about horizontal and vertical strikes, and this plays very well into our combo system, our deep combo system, which is that even within the same weapon type, we have very many different movesets, combos. It has so many different layers to it.
Where you strike on the enemy really makes a big difference in your combat. Of course, that wouldn't work out so well unless you're actually able to target specific body parts, which luckily is a main feature in our game. So you see an enemy, some of his body is armored, some of it's not armored, and then you get to decide, am I going to attack him in a vulnerable area and go for the kill, or am I going to attack him in an armored protected area, damage that armor, chop his limb off, loot it, and then go craft it for myself.
That doesn't feel like you're just some overpowered superhero slashing people away or something. We don't have that, and we don't want that. We want really this engagement, this fear in the fight, and the reward is something you take from your enemy in a maybe sometimes very brutal way.
We thought about how can we incorporate, for example, his exo rig in the best possible way. We wanted to make it look really heavy, but at the same time he needed to have this incredible speed, and he had this enormous power to him now. What we did was we attached, like, I think 20 something kilos to our stuntman and made him do even the fastest attacks with it to really show the weight we had there. When it came to the finishing moves, of course we wanted them to be as cool as possible, but on the other hand, we didn't want them to be that, let's say, fancy. We didn't want to have ballet-like or dancing moves in there, but we just wanted to show the brute force of our hero guy.
There is a sense of pretty dark humor in the game, so it doesn't really take itself too seriously. I mean, it's a violent game, but it's really about fantasy violence. You're basically fighting monsters, but you will also see that there were and there are a lot of people in this world, and some of them really had some issues with the new situation, and some of that you can resolve, and some things you just witness, but you need to pay attention. We really try to have different layers of story. Some of them are really important for you and some aren't, and some just lead you in the wrong direction. But again, it's about exploring, it's about you finding out what it is about. So you really take a look at things, you explore things, and bit by bit the story comes in if you like to experience it that way. So we think there's really a wealth of possibilities in the game depending on how you play it. And we ourselves play it in very different ways at Deck 13, and we really see what you can do with it, but we really don't have any idea what players will do with it. We'll really give it in their hands. So this will be a very, very interesting moment for us to see what other people will do and can do with our game, and we expect to see things that we never thought of, and we think this will be a very, very strong and very important moment for us.